The red and blue lights of two cop cars flashed across my new ranch gate as I hauled my first box from the truck. Linda Pierce, the HOA queen next door, screaming I was a thief stealing her public land, her coral blazer flapping like a warning flag. I stood there, deed in hand, watching her dial 911 again, not knowing I'd spent 20 years as a building inspector busting crooks like her, already wiring her every move with cameras and evidence. That first day in rural Colorado, Linda's power trip didn't just crash. It exposed her illegal empire, handed me justice, and turned a dusty ranch into a community's heart, proving you don't mess with a guy who knows the law better than you do. My name's Caleb Grant, 49, a retired county inspector who sank my life savings into a 10-acre ranch at 312 Sagebrush Lane, chasing a dream of raising goats and growing veggies after 2 decades sniffing out code violations and corrupt developers. I'm a keep-it-simple guy, boots, coffee, truth, but I don't flinch when folks like Linda, the 35-year-old HOA president of Pine Ridge Estates, think they can bully me. Pine Ridge, with its 800 fancy homes, sits right across my fence. And Linda ran it like a dictator, fining folks for wrong mailboxes or kids' swings, her clipboard a throne she thought untouchable. I'd heard whispers about her, Miss Clara Boone's illegal roses, old Mr. Ortiz's fine birdhouse, but I didn't know she'd been eyeing my ranch for 6 months, dreaming of a gated park to hike her fees, convinced it was hers to claim. When she called the cops that first day, thinking I was a squatter, she didn't see a neighbor, she saw a threat, and I saw her mistakes piling up, ready to bury her with the law I'd mastered. It all started as I unloaded my truck, dust swirling. When those cruisers rolled up, Officer Diaz stepping out. "Sir, report of a break-in, got ID?" I handed over my license and deed, explaining I just bought the place, my goats bleeding in their trailer like a backup choir. Linda, 20 feet off, arms crossed, her sneakers tapping, barked, "Those papers are fake. I'll check the registry myself." Diaz, eyeing my docs, shrugged. "Looks legit, ma'am." But Linda was already storming to her silver Jeep, phone out, plotting her next jab. I let it slide, figuring she'd tire out. But inside, my inspector brain was ticking. Her power came from fear, not facts, and I'd learned long ago to beat bullies with paper, not fists. By day 3, a kid dropped off her first salvo, an HOA letter, bold red ink, listing 12 violations: my old fence, tall grass, my trucks, illegal parking, demanding $2,400 in fines for land she didn't own. I called her office. "My ranch isn't in your HOA." But her assistant snapped, "Mrs. Pierce says different," and hung up. That's when I knew Linda didn't care about truth. She wanted control. And I started my file, thick with notes, ready to play her game my way. Day 5, she upped the ante, rolling up with 6 cronies, pointing at my goats, my barn, yelling, "This intruder's stealing our land. What's he planning near our kids?" Her voice dripped fake outrage, neighbors slowing cars to gape, one lady shouting, "We don't want you here." Like I'd robbed a bank. I kept stacking feet, heart pounding but hands steady, clocking their faces, their plates, their lies, my cameras rolling from the eaves. It stung. Not the words but the betrayal. New to town, wanting peace, now a pariah, but I'd faced worse, contractors bribing officials, developers dodging codes. Linda's circus was loud, but I was building quiet. Every slur fuel for my case. By day 8, she crossed into crime, my cameras catching her at 2 a.m., directing her husband, Jim, and a buddy to spray paint, "Not your land," on my fence. Her face half-shadowed, but her coral jacket clear as day. I called Diaz, showed the tape. "Vandalism, right?" He nodded. "Yeah, but her face isn't solid. Hard to charge." Linda's alibi, an HOA meeting with 20 witnesses, held, but I had hidden cams she didn't know about, angles piling up, her smugness a ticking bomb. Day 10 brought her connections flexing, first a county inspector, young guy named Torres, mumbling about unpermitted work on my barn repairs, then animal control, Ms. Ellis, checking my goats for abuse after Linda's call. I walked Torres through my maintenance logs, just upkeep, no permits needed, and he agreed. Waste of time. Ellis, petting my goat Thunder, laughed. "Healthiest critter I've seen. Whoever called doesn't know animals." 2 strikes, no violations, but Linda's message was clear. She had pull, wasting public time to grind me down. I gritted my teeth, hauling water from town, my resolve hardening. She was playing dirty, but I'd play smart. Day 12 pushed me to the edge. No power, no water. My meter lines cut clean with bolt cutters. Linda showed up, 3 bored goons in matching teal shirts, reading from her phone, "Your utilities encroach on our land. HOA's protecting our rights." I held my thermos, voice low. "Cutting lines is a felony, Linda." Her smile chilled. "Prove it, and it's Mrs. Pierce." Utilities stalled, citing her land dispute, leaving me on a generator, camping on my own dirt. But every snip was another nail in her coffin, my file growing fat. Day 15 was her unhinging. 30 protesters at my gate, signs blaring, "Stop the land grabber." Linda in a teal megaphone headset, live streaming to 400 viewers, were resisting this thief's takeover. The mob snapped pics of my truck, my goats, some peering through my windows, shouting I'd hurt kids. I sipped coffee from my porch, trapped, heart heavy but mind racing. 20 years busting crooks taught me this. Document. Wait, strike. Linda's show was desperate. Her power slipping, and I called in chips from my inspector days. Marcus Tate, my old planning buddy, dug up Pine Ridge's HOA registration, expired 2 years, every fine, every rule illegal. Sarah Ruiz, a forensic accountant, found $200,000 in HOA funds missing, $120,000 funneled to Linda's lawyer for personal fights. Then Jim, Linda's husband, knocked late, shamefaced, handing me a USB. She's done this to 5 families, her emails, her plans to boot troublemakers like you. The kicker? My county access codes revealed Pine Ridge's office, playground, pool, $1. $8 million in unpermitted builds on public land. Linda, accusing me of theft, was squatting on stolen dirt herself. I sent a notice to all 800 homes, emergency meeting, HOA crimes. With 12 pages of proof, expired status, stolen funds, Linda's vandalism, her illegal builds. Calls flooded in, neighbors like Clara. "She find my roses, thank you." Linda's lawyer bailed. Smelling prison, her allies wavering as I set the stage for Sunday's showdown. The gym at Pine Ridge Elementary was packed, 550 souls, Channel 9 filming, 150 streaming, air thick with rage. Linda strutted in late, coral blazer crisp, 6 diehards trailing. "This is an attack on our community." She boomed, voice echoing, "Caleb Grant's a fraud, a danger." I stood, jeans dusty. "Let's talk truth, Linda." The crowd hushed as I projected her expired HOA certificate. 3 years of illegal fines, rules, fees, your empire's a scam. Gasps rippled, Clara shouting. "Where's my gate fee?" I showed her accounts, $320,000 vanished, $120,000 to her lawyer, none to gates or lawns. Then my cameras, Linda at 2 a.m., pointing as Jim spray painted my fence. Her bolt cutters snipping my lines, her lie to Diaz the next day. The room roared, Linda's paperwork error, drowned by jeers. The clincher, county maps, her office, playground, pool, all on public land, $1.8 million in fraud. "You stole their money, their land." While accusing me, I said, voice steady. Jim rose, head low. "She's done Clara Boone for president." Clara stood. "I'll apologize to every family she hurt." A 498-19 vote ousted Linda. Clara crowned. Linda's hiss. "You ruined me. Met my calm." "No. You built your own cage. Power unchecked eats itself." Linda vanished, resigning, splitting from Jim, selling her Jeep and jewels to repay $110,000 she'd siphoned. The DA, probing her $1.8 million land theft. Her pink rain at Channel 9 expose that sparked 2 more HOA busts. Clara's first act, transparent budgets online, 80% of rules gone. A neighbor help program swapping fines for workdays. Pine Ridge bloomed. Purple doors, wildflowers, kids' swings. Values up 12% from trust, not terror. My ranch turned hub. Goats and gardens drawing families. Jim crafting a barn. Clara's potlucks packing my fire pit. A year later, for 100 celebrated Caleb Grant Day, Clara's plaque reading, "Justice doesn't need to be loud. It's right." I stood by my fence. Vines over old graffiti, goats, thunder, blaze, storm, mercy, grazing, kids laughing, peace earned. That fight wasn't for me. It was for Clara's roses, Ortiz's birds, every neighbor Linda crushed. My camera's a shield for fairness. Linda thought she'd scare me off. Instead, she handed me a community. Her lies the dirt where it grew. But last week, a flyer hit my gate and signed. Pushing new land codes, Linda's ghost, or a new bully? I started PineRidgeFree.com, our saga at 3 million views, tales of HOA fines for flags or coops. Linda's in Arizona, her Jeep dust. But her kind lingers. What happens when the next tyrant rolls in? Not with paint, but slicker scams. How do you keep your ranch free when greed creeps back? Drop a comment. Fought an HOA bully? Stood for your land? Or seen justice grace? What's your story, and how do we hold our ground? Let's keep these goats roaming, because out here, peace is only as strong as the proof you keep.